All right, well, welcome back to the Outside Scoop. I'm Rob. This is
Josh.
talking sports today. So how do you want to lay this out first? So do you want to go baseball?
I want to talk about the Cardinals first.
Cardinals? Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
So assuming we win this game, which Cardinals are playing a game as we speak, we're up, 5-2?
It's 5-2 in the top of the six.
Okay, we're up 5-2 on the Brewers. Assuming we win the game, we'll be 12-15. We're 11-15 right now. If we sweep the Brewers, Cardinals are in second place in the division.
Oh, wow.
No, not second. Sorry, third. The Brewers are in third right now, but they'll have more losses than us if we sweep them.
Mm-hmm.
So we would be in third place. This division sucks. The Cubs are good, but our division's so bad.
It is, but the thing with our division is that, like, the Cubs, we can talk about them later, but they're unstoppable. They have, like, their offense,
Yeah.
great. Starting pitching's great. Their bullpen's shaky, but when you're scoring 10 runs a game, doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Reds have young talent, but it's the same story
And Terry
every year.
Francona.
Yeah.
That
true.
could really make a difference for them.
Came out of
'Cause
retirement.
He made the Guardians a good team. With like a
Yeah.
minimal budget.
That's like Moneyball every year for
He's
him.
just moving across Ohio doing the same thing. What is it with him in Ohio? He's got something for it. Anyway, one quick thing to highlight is that we're 2-11 in away games and we're 9-4 in home games. But if you look at everyone else's away record, other than the Cubs in our division, everyone's 500 or negative away. And then if you look around the league, most other teams are negative in away games.
That's normally how it is anyway, but it's never 2-11.
1-14 for the Rockies.
The Giants are 10-6.
Also, go look at the Rays. They've only played like 7 away games.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they've played 19 home games already.
That's weird. But like normally away games you're going to be under 500, but it should never be 2-11.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
It's disgusting.
But they did get swept by the Mets at home.
Who did?
The Cardinals.
Us?
We got swept when the Mets were at home.
Right.
And they have the best record at home. So that's kind of given.
The Mets have the best record in baseball.
Yes, they do. It's actually insane to think about the National League has so many great teams. The American League is very weak. Like
No, I don't think they're weak. It's that go look at the East, AL East. Everyone in that division is so competitive that I think their record is going to reflect the competitiveness of the division.
here, okay, I can show you a division right now that trumps that argument, and it's the NL West. Padres
Oh, that's true.
17-9, Giants 17-10, Dodgers 16-10. Those three teams have a better record than everyone in the American League.
Yeah, but
And they're all
how many?
There's four good teams right here. Four. Padres, Giants, Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
But look at how many losses the Rockies have. There's one outlier in that division because the Rockies are terrible. But you cannot say the Orioles are terrible. They've been hit with injuries. The Rays
Also,
aren't terrible.
No starting pitching.
Exactly. But like the top 4 teams in that division are also going to be so competitive, and I think the Orioles are going to be closer to a playoff spot than you can say about most other teams in the AL. Even if they finish 5th in their division. I bet the Orioles could finish 5th in their division and have a better record than half of the AL.
You know what's crazy, which I saw today? I don't want you to look. Do you know the American League team with the best record? They're about to win today.
Rangers?
They're in the Central.
Oh, it's the Tigers.
Tigers have the
16
best.
16-6?
Yep.
Yeah.
They are currently winning. I guess not. Hold on.
Where are they at?
Let me find them. Come on, you should be at the top of the page, I assume.
Are you sure they're playing today?
Yeah, they're...
There's 2 doubleheaders today. Orioles have a doubleheader. I forget who else does.
Okay, so they won, like, probably a minute ago.
Okay,
But they won 4-3. So they're 15 and 10.
15-10.
That's the best record in the league. For the American League. That's insane.
But it won't last long with... I think the Yankees will pull away. I think But I do think everyone in their division is going to be close. And then the Guardians, Tigers will probably pull away. And then probably the Rangers. If I had to guess.
I have the Rangers winning the West. So.
Yeah, I'm not liking that Astros pick up there.
Yeah, the Astros are... neither am I. Yeah, they're kind of... Well, we'll see.
You have the Central exact on the NL. As of now.
That's my specialty.
Okay, final thing for the Cardinals. A couple of players. Mason Wynn came back from injury. Siani got optioned to AAA. Great move because that keeps Sajazi up in the I almost said the NFL. In the MLB. Sajazi right now is hitting 400 with 1 home run, 7 RBIs, but he's not walking. He has 0 walks and 9 strikeouts. So as long as he gets the walks to go, or he just keeps hitting. If he just keeps hitting, he'll be fine.
His batting average definitely went down because he played today.
He did, yeah.
But
does he have any hits today? I don't know. Everyone's batting average is going to switch, obviously, in the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then Donovan's hitting 366. That is going to go up today because I know he has like 2 doubles today.
I know Mason Wynn had 2 doubles because I was watching
that's right. Wynn had 2. Donnie definitely had 1.
He is still hitting 400, so.
That's probably not updated, though.
You don't think so?
I don't think Baseball Reference updates live.
That's a shame.
It'll update tomorrow, but anyway, that's all I got for the Cardinals. You got anything else?
Not really. They've just not been playing too exciting, so
yeah,
I've kind of like not.
Oh, they are second still in batting average in the entire league, behind the Padres. So they have a good offense.
The bullpen stinks.
Also, they have 19 doubles now. After today, they have 19 doubles with runners in scoring position, which is first in the league.
That's awesome.
Last year at this time, they had like 8. So they've been hitting with runners in scoring position more. The offense is definitely improving.
100%. I love Donovan. Where's Burleson?
Burleson's hitting for average. He doesn't have any home runs though.
Okay,
I think he's hitting like 280 or 260 something. But
once he starts hitting for power, that's gonna be insane.
I think the issue though is that Gorman's playing better, so they're DHing Gorman over him versus right-handed pitching. And then their DH for left-handed pitching is Pozo? Is Yohel Pozo DHing because he's a righty?
Pozo, man.
He's hitting well.
What a stud.
He's got like 6 games. Or maybe it's Sajazi is the DH against left-handed pitching. I'm not sure what they're doing. But Burleson's not getting much playing time because Gorman's playing better.
We just need someone to be consistent with power. We don't have any like consistent power hitter, I feel like. Walker's not been there.
We had one.
Burleson's not been there.
Herrera. So Herrera played in 6 games. He had 4 home runs. Outside of that, Nootbaar has 4 home runs, which is tied for the team lead, and he's played like 21 games. 22, whatever it is. They both have 4 home runs. And Herrera played in 6 games. If we still had him, they might be looking a lot better.
If we still had him, our bullpen would still blow the game. All right.
Dude, okay, hold on. All right. We can move on.
Go to your 4 pitchers.
Yeah, okay.
Let's flip back and forth.
Sure.
You go one, I go one.
Sure. Okay, so like we said last week, we're going to try to not highlight the same exact pitchers and hitters every week. There are a couple that will bleed into this week just because it's still so early. But there is a new strikeout king in the league, and that is Mackenzie Gore of the Nationals.
Ooh.
He has 53 strikeouts, 9 walks, and a 3.34 ERA.
53 Ks?
53.
Goodness gracious.
Also, I want to highlight last week, we didn't really talk about Cole Reagans, even though he was leading the league in strikeouts.
Did we not?
Not really. We didn't like highlight him. He's since dropped. He also got, I think he only had 3 strikeouts his last start, and his ERA is over 4.
Ooh.
But you mentioned Logan Gilbert, and you said he would have to get 10 strikeouts to tie. He had 9 that night.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting stuff there. You almost predicted it. All right, you got one?
I got Nathan Eovaldi.
Eovaldi on the Rangers?
On the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
He was a free agent last year, and so many teams passed him up.
Yeah.
He is such a great 3-4 guy. I don't understand why teams were not bidding. Maybe they were. Who knows?
Wasn't he the ace for the Rangers last year because of so many injuries?
Jacob deGrom was out. Scherzer went out. John Gray wasn't an ace.
No.
There's a couple. He was solid. Also, he had a great postseason run a couple years ago. Don't understand how he opted out of his contract to touch the waters. Yeah, it was so stupid. I don't understand. So I put him there because he's a 2.21 ERA, 38 Ks, 0.74 WHIP. Batting average against him is 183. Like, he's a solid pitcher. Cardinals could have got him.
Yeah.
But we have 6 starters. Cornell, Marmol, or Mozeliak, whoever said that stupid thing.
They said that like 3 years ago, and they keep saying it every single year. They said it when we had Dakota Hudson and like Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Dude, what a throwback. That's crazy.
Yeah. They're terrible. Anyway, let's stick with the Rangers. Somebody's sneezing downstairs. Oh no, that's the dog, isn't it?
My dog had surgery, so she might be crying right now. That's my... Should I check? Probably. But let's keep going.
We're going to stick with the Rangers. I have a guy that I had last week solely because he's still leading the entire league in ERA, and that's Tylor Megill. He has a .68 ERA. That dog is going wild.
Do you think they can hear it? No. Like
the mic? I doubt it. He's got a 0.68 ERA, 0.83 WHIP, and 25 strikeouts. He does have 1 strikeout less than he has innings pitched. He's starting tonight, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that ERA holds up. By the time this comes out, it will have updated. The ERA will.
Mm.
Who you got? Number 2.
We are going to stay in the AL West, and I'm going with Hunter Brown.
Ooh.
I don't recall the conversation we had exactly, but I remember saying it was the Detroit-Houston series, ALDS last year. I said the Astros were going to destroy the Tigers. I love the Tigers. I just thought it was going to happen like that because of their pitching. And Hunter Brown was one of those names that, like, I look at their numbers on the sheet and I'm like, this guy's a beast.
Yeah.
1.16 ERA, 31 Ks. Batting average against him is 163. He's a monster. He completely is. Houston should be better than they are. They have a really good team still. I don't care they lost Bregman. I don't care they lost Tucker. Those are they're awesome. If they had those 2 guys, they would win the division 100%. They can still compete for a wild card spot though. And you can't say the Houston being in the postseason is not scary when they've stomped around for 7 years.
I agree that their pitching is still good with Brown, Framber, whoever that guy is that got
Arrighetti
popped for PEDs last year.
Oh, yeah.
Arrighetti, and then Christian Javier. They have a really good rotation still.
Mm-hmm.
And they have one of the best closers in baseball with Josh Hader. But their offense is nowhere close to what it used to be. They don't have Correa anymore. Altuve's getting too old. They don't have Kyle Tucker. They don't have Bregman, which, by the way, Bregman almost got featured in my hitters. He's got 10 doubles. And that left them with Jeremy Pena, Christian Walker. Christian Walker can be good, but he can't carry an entire offense. Their catcher is decent.
They still have the big bad man.
Oh, Yordan?
Yeah. And if Walker starts going off, he's insane.
What's he doing right now?
I bet he's doing nothing. I don't know why I just looked up Walker. I need to look up his full name.
All right, while you're looking at Christian Walker, I'm going to move on to my next pitcher. I went with a reliever like I did last week. This time it's Andres Munoz of the Mariners. Andres Munoz has... Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I skipped somebody. We'll go back to him. But Andres Munoz has 9 saves, a big donut on earned runs, 0 earned runs, and 17 strikeouts. That dude is dealing, and he's 9 for 9 in save opportunities.
He's a beast.
He's almost struck out 2 batters every time he's pitched.
Mariners pitching staff needs to get studied.
Yeah.
Their hitting staff needs to get fired.
Well, they need to be studied on how bad they're doing.
Tarred and feathered.
J-Rod is hitting under 200.
He always starts like that, which is so stupid. You cannot pay that man that much money for him just to be good in the third half
of the
doesn't matter.
Season. Christian Walker's hitting 195.
I'm telling you, bro, he's not doing great.
Nope.
Wait till he freaking heats up.
All right, who's your third?
Nick Lodolo, Cincinnati.
Current Red.
Current Red.
Teammate of former highlighted pitcher last week.
Who's that? Who's he buddies with?
Green.
Oh. Are they not buddies?
No, I said
Hunter?
Current teammate of former highlighted pitcher last week, Hunter Green.
Okay, I know what you're saying now. I thought you were saying that they were like
silly.
former friends.
No, they're still friends, I think.
He has a 2.79 ERA, 18 Ks, but he's still very young, and he has
18 strikeouts. Is it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but he has nasty stuff. He's still young. He's gonna develop. He's gonna become filthy, absolutely disgusting. He's gonna be Hunter Green, just not as tall.
Apparently, without strikeouts too.
He's young. Hunter Green didn't come up as this monster like he is right now. He was good.
But they always knew that he was going to be like a good strikeout guy.
Same with Nick Lodolo. He had high expectations.
How many innings does he have pitched? Because if he can't put the strikeouts to the innings, I mean, it's like, not that he can't be a good pitcher. You know, you can be a ground ball pitcher, but
like Palante.
Yeah, and just not strike people out.
Let's find Lodolo. He can't be too far down. Maybe
just sort by ERA.
I'm just gonna look him up.
All right. While you're looking him up, I'm gonna go to my final pitcher, the guy that I accidentally skipped.
Oh,
closer of the Padres.
Yep.
Robert Suarez, currently leading the league with 10 saves, also has a big donut on ERA, tied with Munoz for leading the league in ERA for relievers. You know who else is there? Kenley Jansen. 0 earned runs, but he's on the last place Angels. Anyway, Robert Suarez.
Second place.
No?
Yeah.
They're last place now.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
No shot.
I promise you, I looked it up.
Happened overnight?
Yeah. But also the AL is like that right now. Last place.
Hey, good for...
By one game.
Good for the Athletics.
Yeah. Staying 500. But Suarez also has 13 Ks. Not as many, but he's only got like 10 innings pitched. He's 10 for 10 on save opportunities. That guy's a monster. Him and Munoz both. What is that? The Pacific Northwest? They got some monster closers over there. I guess.
For what?
San Diego's not in the Northwest. They're
North.
Southwest.
South.
Just west.
Because if you're looking at California, you got San Francisco, Oakland. You go south, you got LA, Anaheim, San Diego.
Okay. So they're west.
I think it's like a 2 to 3 hour car drive from LA, San Diego, all that to San Francisco because of traffic.
Yeah.
But it's around
still
2
close.
3 hours.
Yeah. Okay, Lodolo has 29 innings, 18 strikeouts. I mean, I could see it going up for sure. You can have a 10 strikeout game.
He has crazy potential.
Yeah, he does. He's still pitching really well. I'm not trying to take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you look at his career though, he has 318 strikeouts and 282 innings. So he does have the strikeout stuff.
ERA,
just a little bit less this year.
Career at a 4.34.
Yeah, but he'll get better.
He will. Yeah,
if he continues to put up 2.79 ERAs, that'll go down. You got a final pitcher?
I do. I always feel weird saying this name, but Kris Bubic.
Bubic?
Is it Bubic?
It is. I promise you, it's Bubic.
Bubic?
Yes.
That's actually way worse.
It is. It's a lot worse.
That's so much worse.
He was one of my surprise players last week.
Oh.
You remember that? You said, say that name again.
All right, Bubic. Kansas City Royals, 1.45 ERA, 33 Ks. His WHIP is 1.06. Probably league average. I don't know what the WHIP is, like the league average is, but I
think 106 is probably better than league average.
Probably. How much do you think it is? Like
League average whip would probably be like
1.4?
1.3, 1.4, or something like that.
I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of who I had. I didn't have like, I had Yamamoto because I thought we were doing 5. But he's still a beast, and I think he should get mentioned.
For sure. So last week I touched on Kris Bubic's former starter ERA. His last full season as starter was 22. 5.5 ERA.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's been much improved. Good for him. Anyway, let's move on.
You're not looking at my challenge for you for later.
No, I didn't. Okay. Let's move on to our hitters.
All right, well, I'm going to start. Because this guy is so exciting for a young team. The Washington Nationals. James Wood. 8 home runs, batting .255. OPS of .905.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome. Dylan Cruz, he hasn't, like, picked it up
He's almost
yet,
there. He's close.
But he's licking it.
Yep. And then if CJ Abrams can hit.
He can hit. It's his fielding that stinks. Or maybe it's this year his hitting's not on par yet.
Well, last year he hit really good.
His fielding
for the
was
first,
bad.
What was that, 2-ish months? He was on a tear for a little bit.
I want to look up his DRS because that probably stinks. But
they need a better defensive shortstop?
You just need practice. You just need time on the field.
Like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but if you look at Manny Ramirez, he played so much outfield, still wasn't a good outfielder.
How much time did he put, like, outside of the games to, like, just take... Like, Arenado talks about all the time, like, just taking ground balls just for hundreds of them. Just field ground balls, and you'll get better that way.
That's true. I guess your work ethic outside of the game definitely translates.
That's why Jordan Walker is struggling. I know I don't want to bring up Cardinals every 2 seconds, but Jordan Walker's work ethic, from what I've heard outside of the clubhouse, is like non-existent.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Dude has all the raw tools to be
I know.
One of the best hitters. I mean, if you look at him, he's just massive. Aaron Judge. But he can't put it together. Let's not linger on that.
It's sad. But anyway, who's your number one?
My number one is somebody we touched on last week just because he's so good. It's Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll's hitting .315. He's tied for the league lead with 9 home runs, which, he had 2 since last week, I think. He has 8 doubles, 2 triples. He's got 23 RBIs, a 1054 OPS, and 5 stolen bases. This guy's crazy. Like, so good. And as long as you keep that up, and then Ketel Marte comes back and starts hitting like he did last year, that team's going to make the playoffs.
100%. If they make the playoffs, they are scary dangerous. I would hate to be the team that's versing them in the wild card and be like, they have the best offense in baseball. Their rotation, underrated.
Yeah, if you underestimate them, that's your mistake.
They went to the World Series in 23. People forget. I don't, because I like the Diamondbacks.
I don't either. I love the Diamondbacks.
Let's go.
As long as, if we weren't in the same conference or league as them.
You got hockey on your mind. Conference.
Yeah, they'd probably be my favorite AL team if they were in the AL.
Who's your favorite AL team?
I think right now, I'm kind of a sucker for the Rangers. I can't lie. I really like their pitching. I hope DeGrom starts playing well. And then Corey Seager just got hurt though. I think he has a lat strain. But I really like the Rangers and Detroit. Detroit's a good team too. I like that they have Flaherty, former Cardinal. I'm a sucker for a former Cardinal.
If you guys are wondering, we have the divisions up on my wall over there. Like when we look or points, that's kind of what we're talking about. The flags. We have the flags, which I try to predict before the season starts of who's winning what and stuff.
Hitter number 2?
For me, I got Dylan Moore. Seattle.
What?
He's batting .286 with 6 home runs. Nothing crazy, but for Seattle, that's so important. He needs to stay there. Because like we just mentioned, Rodriguez is slacking.
Yep.
You got Moore, big dumper. Randy Rosarena pops off like in the latter half of the games, but like they don't really have someone who's like that they can depend on. Because like Riley is still a catcher.
Yeah.
Raleigh.
Yep.
What is that? Freaking Canadian or something?
I don't know.
I know that's how you're supposed to say it, but Yeah, I just highlighted him because he needs to stay where he's at. He has a 903 OPS. He's got to ride that out.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That's
is gonna be
crazy
tough.
for Dylan Moore too, because he's never been that much of a hitter. He's been a good guy, like for defensive, like he can play everywhere.
T-Mobile Park's a hard park to hit at too. It's very pitcher sided, and then you also have the best pitching staff in baseball.
Yeah,
which is why they win so many games. But then they also have like the worst offense, which is disgusting. Like why?
What if you gave the Reds their rotation?
The Reds still have a good
hitter-friendly
rotation.
Ballpark? I know, but because that ballpark is so hitter friendly, what if you just put the entire Mariners rotation onto the Reds? Do you think that would affect them at all? I would think Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, because he already pitched with the Reds.
If you give the Reds one Mariners pitcher from any one of the 5 that they have, just pluck one of them, trade them with Cincinnati, get some young talent. The Reds have a lot of young talent. Trade someone. You get a starting pitcher they don't need starting pitching. This is a dumb hypothetical.
No, I'm just saying if you just remove the Reds rotation, current rotation, and you slap it in the Mariners. Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Do you think they'd be better or worse? Or the same?
Same.
Really?
Because the Reds still have fantastic pitching. In my mind, they're both.
I don't think they have as good of pitching as the Mariners, but I would also disagree with you if you take any one of the Mariners pitchers. I don't think if you put Brian Wu on the Reds that he would be performing as well, or that the Mariners would be any better for it. I think maybe the hitter-friendly ballpark applies to him. I mean, sorry, the pitcher-friendly ballpark. Time to go to break.
Hey guys, just want to take a second and remind you about our goal. Our goal is to hit 750 subscribers by the end of the season. The season is going to end May 22nd. So if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and leave a like as well. So let's get back to the video.
All right, my second hitter is a guy that we're going to be seeing a lot of this year, Kyle Tucker, on the Cubs. Bro is hitting .308. He's got 7 home runs, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 25 RBIs. He's got 20 walks to 16 strikeouts. That's a lot of walks to strikeouts.
He's scary.
And he's got a 1031 OPS. Really, I had to put this guy on because anytime I sorted by home runs, RBI, average, doubles, he was everywhere. He showed up all the time. And just a guy that's doing all of it like that. Also, he's a free agent at the end of the year.
He is re-signing 100%.
No.
Yes, he is.
No.
He's re-signing a long-term deal.
With the Cubs?
100%. They are 7 games above 500. They look very, very good. And this is with Steele out, right?
Yep.
They're a good team. Really
I
good
don't.
team. They got
maybe
the perfect
I don't want
mix.
him to
I don't want them to be good either. I'd rather them be good than the Brewers, though.
No.
I
would rather
Brewers.
neither of them is good.
Take the blue pill or the red pill. And welcome to reality. One of those 2 teams are going to be good. The Pirates are never going to be good.
What do you mean?
Their front office stinks.
Okay, but you could say that about the Cubs 6 years ago. Maybe not 6 years ago because that was 2018.
The year after they won they won in
2017. They won in 16.
Won
okay,
16.
so you could say that
Astros
about the
were
Cubs 15 years ago.
I have a Cubby hitter right next.
Do you?
Which mixes well. We'll add these guys together. I got PCA. Pete Crow.
Yeah.
He is so fast. He's disgusting on the base paths.
On the base.
Paths. And then did you see the series he had against the Dodgers?
No.
Hitting nukes. Just all the time. He dominates the Dodgers and kind of makes me happy. Because I hate the Dodgers, but I also hate the Cubs. Long story short, the Cubs have a perfect mix of some older senior players. Dansby Swanson's a great veteran who can train up these guys. Pete Crow, very young. You got I can't think of the second baseman.
Horner?
Yeah, Horner has been there for a while. He's good. They got a lot of really good pieces. A really well-built team. And I think they're going to be good. They're going to go into the postseason this year, surprise people. Tucker's going to like what he sees, and he's going to stay in Chicago. Chicago's also very likable. I hate saying that, being from St. Louis.
It is. I like the city. As much as I hate to admit it, I like being in Chicago. Fun city.
He's gonna stay in Chicago. Where would he go?
Dodgers. I think if he were to be a free agent, your big players are gonna be. I think the Astros look at him again, and that relationship's probably hurt. And then you're also looking at the Dodgers for any free agent, and then like the Giants. Giants have missed out on big outfield free agents a couple of times now. Harper, Judge. I'm not. Maybe they were going after.
They went
Hernandez.
after Correa, but he was an infielder.
Yeah, they had Soler, who didn't really work out for them last year.
Yeah, but they have Yastrzemski in right field, which I don't think they're going to move on from him. They have Jung-Hoo Lee
He's
in
already
center.
getting old, though. He's like 33, 34. I think at some point you have to move on from that. And even if you move him to a DH or bench spot, Kyle Tucker is going to be better.
He's staying in Chicago. Moving on.
Okay.
All right, well, I kind of went with PCA, but we kind of talked to him about it a little bit anyway. But he's hitting a 295. With his
That's pretty
speed,
good.
getting on base that much is scary. Anyway, I got, for my last pick, Francisco Lindor.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to find his stats. I didn't have time because I got finals, and I'm really busy. But I did see the stat of his batting average, his home runs during the Mets win streak, and he's popping off. He's disgusting. If he continues like this, MVP candidate. 100%.
He was an MVP candidate last year.
Yeah.
If not for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
It was Ohtani, him, and Marte. Those were your three.
It makes me kind of sad how Shohei and Judge just like take away the MVP every single year. I think that kind of takes out the fun. A little bit of like chasing.
That's why
the
I thought
MVP.
that like Bobby Witt almost had a case. But I mean, he definitely had a case. I wouldn't say it was better than Aaron Judge, but like, and you can't look back at that MVP race and say Bobby Witt got robbed.
Yeah, Judge was insane.
Correct. But there's always going to be the guys, even like when J-Ram was really close with like Mike Trout. Obviously, Mike Trout was the better player, but J-Ram was always so good, so consistently good. I don't know. It does kind of take away some of the fun.
It does.
But when we look
100%.
back on it in 10 years from now, we're going to be like, wow, look at that stretch Judge had. Let's say he wins 5 MVPs. He's already got 2?
Should have 3.
Should have 3.
He lost Altuve in 17.
Oh.
He had the better stats too. Actually, I think it was very close, but Altuve won. But then also, what happened in 17?
Cheating.
The cameras? Yeah. So that's a touchy subject. But yeah, I had Francisco Lindor because he's getting hot for the Mets. The Mets really need to prove people wrong, like me. I always say the Mets are going to Met. I'm a Braves fan.
It's all about the Mets. Baby.
I like the
What?
Braves. I have a Braves hat right there.
Oh, that's wild. They are doing pretty good though in their last 10.
I know. They're
surging.
sick, dude.
It's just been a tough start to the season for them. What? Bro just put on a Braves hat after having a Cardinals hat on?
Yars.
Bro's switching up. So, okay.
I like multiple teams.
Quick story about the Braves. You want to shut up? Quick story about the Braves. My dad has a friend who is a Blackhawks and Braves fan. And every year, this guy puts money on the Blackhawks and Braves to win the championships, no matter what their odds are. And right now, the Braves have a really good chance at that hitting for probably the next 5-6 years, just with what they have already.
Did he bet in 19?
No clue. Probably.
It's when the Braves won it all.
If I had to guess, he did. Anyway, I'm moving on to my next hitter. My next hitter is kind of an odd one. He's also tied with the league lead in home runs. He's got 9.
Sure.
Mike Trout. Here's the good stuff, okay? He's got 9 home runs. He's got a double. He's got a triple. He's got 18 RBIs.
Only one double?
Yeah. Now, this is the bad part.
Sure.
Also, this isn't always going to be hitters to watch based on good, like I did with Chris Bassett last week. I think Chris Bassett's going to fall off at some point. That's why I said he's a pitcher to watch. Mike Trout's a hitter to watch because he's either going to completely pop off and have 40-plus home runs,
Mm.
and his average is going to be good, or he's going to only hit for power, and his average is going to stay at what it is, 185. He's hitting 185.
Dude.
He has 31 strikeouts, 12 walks.
Wow.
And his total on-base percentage is 280, with his lack of walks and his 185 average.
Hitting 185 is insane.
For Mike Trout, it is. I'm not sure what's going on with Mike Trout.
185 is bad for anybody.
Yeah.
For Mike Trout.
Okay, so
if he was batting like 230, that's bad for Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure what's going on with him. If it's a mental thing, if it's a vision thing, if it's an injury. I hope it's not an injury because he's always hurt. But that's disgusting. His career batting average is now under 300. I feel really, really bad for Mike Trout because he had such a good first, 8 years?
He came up in 11?
Yeah.
12?
Well, didn't he get like a little bit of time in 11 and then his full rookie season was 12? Is that right?
I'm not sure.
Because he did the same thing Aaron Judge did, where he got like a little bit of time and then popped off his actual rookie season. I really hope he can start hitting for average, though, and that it's just kind of a early season like fluke stretch for him. Because if that guy really does start hitting again, the Angels could get fourth place in the division. Maybe third. But he's tied. He's tied for the league.
He's hitting
lead.
179
Oh,
now.
so after today, he's hitting 179.
So it went lower. When you go low, I go lower.
That's not good. I feel bad for him, but he's hitting for power. It's like Paul DeJong.
Comparing Mike Trout to Paul DeJong was disgusting. Okay, well, I'm going to do the little challenge.
I have more hitters.
You have one more? How did I go through all mine?
I have 4. Well, because we looped in Tucker
I went
and PCA. Yeah. My last hitter is Paul Goldschmidt. Dude. Now just here. Okay, hear me out. Here's his stats. He ranks second in hits in the entire league. There he is, Paulie G. He hits. What am I saying? He's got second most hits in the league with 36 hits. The only person above him is Aaron Judge. He's hitting .364 and he's got 7 doubles. Here's where he's lacking: is his power. He only has 1 home run. He's got 9 RBIs. But is he back?
Yes, he's been back. The second half of the season last year, he was doing so good. On top of that, the reason why, if I was a Yankees fan, I wouldn't mind the power slacking is because, one, Jazz Chisholm, his batting average is his on base. You need someone to get on consistently.
Okay, but Jazz has power. That's the thing, is that if you combine Paul Goldschmidt and Jazz Chisholm, MVP candidate.
If one of them's doing average, one's doing power, so be it. You got already power bats in Bellinger, Judge, Austin Wells can hit a dinger. You don't really like. It would be nice for Paulie to start raking again. Sure.
Yeah.
Yankees fans, I believe, would take the .364 average right now over power.
Yeah, I agree. So one thing that's always been a really interesting stat for me is that Paul Goldschmidt always gets hot as it gets hotter outside. Mm-hmm. And obviously when he was playing in Arizona, it's almost always hot. So he was having his MVP-type seasons there. Mm-hmm. He had the MVP season with the Cardinals, but in, September? He had a really bad September because it was getting colder. And then he didn't hit at all in the postseason that year. So something with the temperature really messes with him. So I'm really intrigued to see what he's going to do when it gets cold in New York. Because right now, I would say temperatures are like steady. And then probably in the summer, he'll have a good stretch.
You've been in New York. I've not. Is it chilly there? It's a little chilly, I imagine, because you're by the ocean.
Well, I went in winter. I went in January. So, yeah, it was pretty cold. Like, I was wearing my coat everywhere I went. Except for, like, one night I wore a flannel. But they're also playing in, like, I don't know, they're playing in the stadium, right? Where temperatures might be a little bit more regulated than, like, if it were super windy outside. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. But I'm just interested to see how he'll do throughout the rest of the season. I would like for him to start hitting a little bit power. If he gets like 16 to 20 home runs this year, I think they're happy with that. Especially with how much they paid him for 1 year.
How much did he get?
I think he's getting like 9-10 mil. It's cheap. It's pretty cheap for Paul Goldschmidt.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Great defense, too.
Yeah. So I think...
Sorry, Rizzo.
Yeah, Rizzo sucked anyway. I think Paulie could be back. And the next year he might get a little bit more money, a little bit of a bag. And I think if the Yankees don't have any immediate replacement at first base, maybe they go with Ben Rice or whatever his name is.
Ben Rice has been on fire.
Yeah. But... Because he can't play catcher because they got Trevino and Wells. Do they have Trevino still? Or is he on the Padres?
Trevino? Why do I want to say the Reds? Can we look it up so we don't look stupid?
Yeah.
We might look stupid already. He's either on like 4 teams. He's either on... Reds?
One of 4 teams. He's on the Reds.
Let's go.
So who's then...
Baseball knowledge.
Yankees.
Did you already say Austin Wells?
I did say Wells. JC Escada? What?
Ooh, roll that R.
And then Ben Rice can play catcher. So maybe he's their...
Ben Rice can catch?
Well, he came up as a catcher.
Oh, did he?
And then they played him at first base because they had Trevino and Wells.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cool.
I have 2 surprise players really quick before you do your challenge. The first one's a good one. Oh, actually, before we do that, I have honorable mentions on hitters. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on people that we did the previous week. So I have a lot of honorable mentions. Actually, everyone in honorable mentions is someone we discussed last week. First is obviously Aaron Judge. He's still leading the league with 408 average now. Back over 400.
Disgusting.
Next, we have Pete Alonso and Young, as you would say. Both leading the league with 11 doubles. Also, I looked up Jung Hoo Lee's fan club. They're called the Hooligans, and there's 51 of them.
Yes, dude, that's freaking sick.
Yeah, that's really funny. And then Tyler Soderstrom and Cal Raleigh are the other 2 tied with 9 home runs. So there's 4 hitters.
Who's going to be the first of 10?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out today. A lot of games today.
If I wear my Athletics jersey, you think he's going to hit it? Like today?
Oakland. Rip Oakland. Maybe. Who's your Athletics jersey, Chapman?
Chapman's
good
my
pick.
boy.
Okay, so really quick, I got 2 surprise players. One's good, one's bad. My pitcher is good. Tylor Megill of the Mets.
Dude, I almost picked him.
Yeah, he's got a 109 ERA. He has 30 strikeouts. And for his entire career, he's never finished an entire season under an ERA of 4.04, which was last year.
It's a long season.
It is a long season. So that 1 could shoot up to 5 real quick.
One blow-up star can skew his numbers the entire season.
It could. It really could. But keep an eye on Tylor Megill, especially with how good the Mets are doing right now. He could keep it up and be one of their best pitchers. Here's my bad surprise.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Charlie Morton?
No.
Dang it.
It's not a pitcher, it's a hitter.
Oh, okay.
You want to guess a hitter?
Can I get a division?
Central, I know.
Churio?
No.
Gosh.
One more.
I don't know who.
It's Jordan Walker.
Wait, is he hitting? Hold on, let me guess the stats. 217?
Nope, lower.
Wow. 209?
202. It's bad. 202 average, 268 on base, 281 slugging for a total 529 OPS. Woohoo! He's got 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 1 double. And my note, he is not that guy from 2023.
23, he wasn't insane either.
Yes, he was.
No.
23 was his good year. He hit 277. He had 16 home runs. 2023 Jordan Walker he could have been in contention for Rookie of the Year if we would have called him up earlier. Or kept him up, rather. Because I believe he started the season on the roster, got sent down, and then he came back up and was raking. That's recent games.
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand. Okay.
276, sorry, not 77.
Mm-hmm.
An OPS plus of 113 that year. An OPS plus right now of 56. That is, what is that, 40 4% worse than league average. Yeah, it's bad. Bad looks for Jordan Walker right now.
Oh my goodness.
Now, say what you will about he hits the ball hard. He's 23 years old still.
Defense has gotten better, though.
Defense has definitely gotten better in outfield the more he plays.
He's had a negative WAR every single season.
Yeah. You can only pray that turns around.
I think the Cardinals are going to trade Ryan Helsley, Brendan Donovan, and Nootbaar.
Why would you ever say that? Why would you put that in the air?
Camera, we are going to have this tape. I guarantee that's going to happen.
Why would you put that in the air?
Because it's going to happen.
I think Jordan...
You think I want that to happen? Look at that. You think I want that to happen? No.
I think Ryan Helsley gets traded because they're stupid, and they, instead of re-signing the guy and giving him a nice bag, they'd be like, oh, we're going to save some money, and we're going to trade him to the Braves.
We fought over like $100,000 for Donovan.
Yep. No, I do think Donovan gets signed. I think Donovan and Nootbaar have the highest chance out of any of the players to get re-signed, other than Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn's got the highest chance to get re-signed. I think you lock up Mason Wynn to a 10-year deal right now. That's what I would do if I were the front office.
But you're not, because you're smart. Anyway, challenge?
Yeah, let's go with this challenge.
Okay, here we go. So, what this challenge is, Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to guess the top 5 teams in the league with the most runs scored. And you get 3 chances.
Most runs scored. What? So I only get 3 mistakes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Padres? Is that a yes?
They don't crack the top 10.
What?
This was a post a day ago.
Mets? Athletics?
I'll give you 4 chances.
Was that all 3 wrong?
Think of the... Yes.
Okay, I promise you whenever I watch the video...
I'll give you some hints.
Okay.
3 of them... Actually, hold on. 4 of them are in the National League. 1's in the American League. You can probably get the American League one.
Phillies.
The American League?
No, that was one of my National League ones. Phillies. Are you kidding me?
Phillies are not good right now, dude.
In the top runs scored.
Yes.
And the Padres don't even crack top 10.
No.
And they're the second best team in the NL.
Yeah. Correct. Mets aren't up here either. There is a team from New York.
Yankees.
Okay, Yankees are number 2.
Dodgers.
Dodgers are number 9.
Diamondbacks.
Number 3. Okay, let me give you the numbers. Yankees have 137. Diamondbacks have 131. So those are your 2 top 5. Dodgers I didn't put down because they're outside the top 5.
1 American League, 4...
The 3 that you're missing... Should I just give you the division? You're going to get all of them.
Giants.
No. They're all in the same division. That's a good hint. They're all in the same division. Yep, Cubs are number 1 with 163.
Cardinals.
Cardinals are number 8, so they missed the top 5.
Reds.
The Reds are number 4.
Okay.
128 runs batted in.
Wow. I know that...
Number 5 is another team from the same.
The top 4 teams in the Central right now. So, like, everyone but the Pirates has a positive run differential.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the AL team...
You got the AL. It was the Yankees.
The Yankees, yeah.
There's
so
one
Yankees,
more team in the National League that's in the same division as the Cubbies. And there's only one clear answer.
The Brewers?
Yeah. Brewers have 127. 3 NL Central teams were in the top 5 for runs scored.
So Cubs, Reds,
Cubs number 1,
Brewers,
Yankees number 2, Diamondbacks number 3, 4 was the Reds, number 5 were the Brewers, 6 were the Giants, 7 was Boston, 8 St. Louis, 9 Dodgers, 10 Detroit.
Where did Oakland fall? I mean Sacramento. The Athletics.
I wonder if it's gonna have it on the post.
Because I know that I watched a video on them about a week ago.
They have such a fun team.
They do, but whenever I watched that video, I think they had the most runs scored in baseball. I might be completely wrong.
It doesn't have everyone else. It's just the top 5. Or it was the top 10. But I thought the Cubs were a clear answer because they have the best run differential in the whole league.
Oh, do they?
I believe so.
Well, I would assume if they've scored the most runs, they.
Yeah, well, I trust myself. I think I'm right. All right, Josh, let's go over. Or do you want to take a little break here, and then you can go through the hockey?
Yeah, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we have a NHL playoff update. Stay tuned for that. Hey guys, Editor Josh here. If you're enjoying the podcast so far, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach 750 subscribers by the end of this season. So again, if you do enjoy it, please subscribe. Thanks. Back to the video. All right, real quick before we get to the NHL playoff update, we wanted to mention something about the NFL draft. We're both wearing NFL jerseys, obviously. I got a Jared Goff Rams jersey on. I thought he was going to be the savior. I really did.
That's unfortunate.
Whenever Carson Wentz had a really good season for Philly, I thought that the next Tom Brady-Aaron Rodgers duo was going to be Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Anyway.
I'm excited as a Broncos fan. Just a little tidbit. If you want an in-depth draft video podcast, this is not where you're going to get it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it for maybe like a minute. I'm excited for the Broncos.
We don't know too much about the NFL anyway. Or rather college football. We don't know too much about college football.
We will get enlightened, more educated as the podcast goes on because we're going to be looking at more stuff.
And also as the NFL season comes around.
Yes. So we're going to go over more football, of course, when the season starts. But as a Broncos fan, I'm really excited because we traded for a tight end. We need a tight end. We got a cornerback first round, which is awesome because we need some more depth there. We got a wide receiver. We also got a running back. Really needed a running back. I have a Williams jersey. Williams is not great. I'm sorry, he's not. So I think we plugged the holes that we needed to.
That's good. That's what you need to do.
So I'm really happy. Broncos had a really good season last year. 2015 was the last good Broncos year. It's been a long time. Been a decade since we were good. So hopefully we can hit wild card again. Probably not going to beat the Chiefs.
I'm on board with the Broncos.
They're going to be fun, dude. I'm excited to talk about them later on. But, yeah, if you want to hear about the draft, go somewhere else. It's exciting. I love the draft. The draft is awesome. We could talk about Shedeur Sanders, but we're not.
Deion Sanders' son.
Yeah. That was a whole thing. I feel like we wouldn't,
we'd probably
put enough respect on it.
Yeah.
Because it's actually, a pretty funny thing just to, look into.
Go to SportsCenter for that.
There's a prank call that some kids called Sanders being like, hey, he got drafted, and it was fake. It's an insane video. Hilarious. Maybe it's not funny. It kind of, to me, it's funny. The guy's kind of arrogant. So
it's kind of funny.
I thought it was funny. It's not funny, but it is. But anyway, back to hockey.
Really quick. Rams traded out of the first round. They decided to trade their first round pick to the Falcons. I think they were supposed to select 20th overall. And they also traded a third round pick from this year. And they moved into the first round pick, or the first round draft next year. They also got a fourth and a seventh, I think, something like that. They got 3 picks back, and they gave up 2. So I'm a fan of that. If they didn't think they were going to draft if they didn't want anyone in the first round specifically, I'm okay with them trading away that first round pick for a future first rounder. So then they'll have 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could potentially trade one of those picks for a player or do whatever with that. I'm cool with that. And yeah, I'm from St. Louis. I'm still a Rams fan. You can be a fan of the Rams you can be a fan of the players without being a fan of the owner, which I think more sports franchise fans do than we really realize.
I hate the Rams.
I'm not a fan of the Cardinals ownership because they don't spend money. But I love the team. It's the same thing. It's just that they got screwed out of their situation in St. Louis because their owner has Walmart money that he married into and wanted to go to LA. Let's move on to hockey.
I don't want to talk about the Rams because they make me mad.
Okay. Let's move on to hockey then. First, we have the Blues-Jets update because it's the first series that we care about, first of all, and first series to start. Right now, the Blues are looking at a 2-1 series deficit. But by the time this video comes out, the Blues will either be tied 2-2, or the Jets will be up 3-1. So we play tomorrow at noon. Now, here's some interesting stats about our series. First off, the games. Game 1 was a 5-3 loss to the Jets, obviously. Game 2 was a 2-1 loss. Both of those games were in Winnipeg. Game 3 was a 7-2 Blues blowout win in St. Louis. So some interesting things that come out of that is that we are winning the goal differentials right now. We have 11 goals. They have 9. The Jets only lost 4 times on home ice all season. We were close enough in those 2 games to say that either one of those games could have gone our way. Now, yeah, they definitely outplayed us games 1 and 2, but the score being 2-1, game 2, is that close to where you could say we could have won that game. Now, did you watch the game on Thursday night?
I did not, because I watched the movie Sinners. I was at the theaters.
Ooh,
really good.
We
movie.
talk about that later, and I want to see that. But anyway, we dominated them. We made them actually look like they were stupid. Like the Blues looked like a pesky, annoying team to play against, and that's never good for the opponent.
When they can move the puck around like they did that game, amazing. When I was watching game 1, we had a power play and it was tight, I think. I think it was tight at that point. We had a power play. Thomas held the puck for way too long. People weren't moving. The puck was not, it was ugly hockey. It was realistically ugly Blues hockey. Game 3 was the Blues we saw all last month.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I understand that you brought up how the Jets only lost 4 games at home all season. I'm going to bring baseball into this because I'm a baseball guy. In 2023, when the Diamondbacks were versing the Phillies in the ALCS, Diamondbacks were down in the series going to Philadelphia. The Phillies in Philly were unstoppable. The home crowd is so loud and so rowdy. People are like, if you go as an away team to Philly, you just lose. Diamondbacks tied the series and won the series in Philly when everyone's like, it's just, don't even watch the game. There's no point. I don't give a fluff that they have only lost 4 times on home ice.
Yep.
You go to Winnipeg and you...
What?
and you peg them. Cut that out.
No.
And you win the series.
That's going to be a clip.
Oh, no.
Peg the Jets is what you're saying.
Essentially.
I agree. You can do anything in the playoffs. I mean, it's a completely different beast. Yeah, they have the whole whiteout thing, which I think is kind of silly.
I think it's stupid, too.
Especially because the away team will wear white. But, I mean, if the Blues can keep playing like they... Do you know how many penalties the Jets took on the other... I don't even know how many penalties they took. They just took so many. Luke Shen had 3 penalties alone. At one point, the Jets had 3 of their 6 defensemen in the penalty box. And we had a 5-on-3. We scored on that 5-on-3. I think at that point it made it 5-1, something like that. Maybe 5-2, whatever the heck the score was at that point. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, whenever it was 3-0 in the third, and the Jets scored their first goal. Now that was a scary moment. I really did think that we were going to let them back in because we've had rough third periods, especially as of late. And then immediately after that play, Booch scored the hat-trick goal. And that just, like, erased all of my fears.
It was awesome. I saw that.
Another thing is, if you watch the highlights, I don't know how much the highlights are going to show how pesky we were, but they'll definitely show the goals, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, those goals they're filthy. They're good goals.
Some good redirect goals.
Yeah.
And even
excuse me. Whose goal am I thinking of? Parayko had a really good one on the one-timer. I mean, that was a bomb from the left point. That actually, I think, was on the 5-on-3. Just good game all around. Mm-hmm. We need to play exactly like that tomorrow and then just carry that over into Winnipeg. And whenever we won the Cup, we won on the road in Boston. One of the hardest things to do.
So is it in hockey 2 home, 2 away, 3 at home?
No, it's 2, 2, 1, 1, 1.
It's best of 7.
Yeah. So it goes
1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So it'll be the first 2 is the team with the better record. The 3 and 4 are the worst record team, and then it's back to Winnipeg, back to St. Louis, back to Winnipeg. Yeah.
Interesting.
A little bit different than baseball.
Yeah, because he goes 2, 3, 2.
Correct. Which they just changed that recently. Like within the last couple of years.
To what? Oh, to
that format.
2. Okay.
Yeah, the 2-3-2. All right, let's move on from the Jets Blues series. This next one is looking good for you. The Golden Knights Wild, they play tonight. 2-1 Wild right now is the series.
Yep. Have that down.
The last 2 games, so games 2 and 3, the Wild have won 5-2. Kaprizov is second in scoring in the playoffs right now, tied with Cam Fowler of the Blues, of all people.
I wish we had the podcast when we picked him up. We were like, we don't like that. We don't like that pickup.
Yeah.
Or I guess you kind of said that.
I said that.
I didn't really say that.
I didn't like the Wild prediction.
I did because I don't like the Golden Knights.
Yeah. But you're looking good right now in that series. If the Wild can...
Also with Dallas, but we'll get there.
We'll get to that. Yeah, I think that's my next series, actually.
Rob looking good. I like that note.
Stars-Avs, they play tonight. I'm not going to say you're looking too good in this series, though. Like I told you, I think it's going to go to Game 7. It's currently a series of 2-1 Stars, and other than Game 1, which was the 5-1 Avalanche blowout, every game has been really close. I mean, they lost by one goal the other day. The Avalanche did. I still think it's a 7-game series. We'll see what happens tonight. Stars are either going to take that 3-1 lead, or the Avs will come back and tie it. And I think, are they in Dallas right now?
They're in Colorado.
Okay.
They started in Dallas.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. We'll see what happens there. But I'm not gonna say you're looking good. I'm not gonna say I'm looking good.
But I'm looking better.
Yeah. Yeah. Statistically you're looking better. I just think it'll go to Game 7. Then we got the Kings Oilers.
Not looking good for me.
No. It's 2-1 Kings right now, but realistically, the Kings they let the Oilers have that one the other day. I think it was last night. But Kempe looks good right now. He's got the most points in the playoffs right now.
Oh, Kempe.
9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists. The 4 goals is tied for the most goals. The Kings are looking good. So if you watch them, how they play against McDavid, the last 3 years, this is the 4th year in a row that the Kings Oilers have played round 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they lost last year.
They lost all 3.
Oh,
the last 3 years they've lost to the Oilers in the first round. So their primary defensive formation is 1-3-1, and McDavid just shatters that because as long as you have speed, you can get by that really easily. And McDavid's the fastest player in the league, so of course he's going to shatter that. So what they've been doing is their primary forward has been hounding McDavid if he gets the puck. And he's carrying it, and they'll have like 2 people converge on McDavid before he can even get the puck in. They're obviously the primary idea for 1-3-1 is so that you get the other team to dump it in.
Yeah.
And then you just win the puck battle. And you block the blue line completely. McDavid just shatters that, right? So that's why they're converging on him. They have a forward hounding him on the back so he can't make a pass. And it's either McDavid loses the puck or he burns them, and we'll get a chance.
They've had time to think about it.
Yes.
They have a lot of footage.
They've had 3 years.
They've had footage they can roll back.
Correct. But what happened was on the first game, when they won 5-4, McDavid had 4 points. He had a goal and 3 assists, and his team still lost. So even though LA played their best game defensively against McDavid, he still had 4 points, but they still won. That's what I think the biggest difference is they know how they can play McDavid and still win the game.
Good for them, dude.
It's like a live chess match.
I like chess.
Then watch the Kings-Oilers games. That's the last Western Conference matchup. Moving to the Leafs-Senators, who also play tonight. We're looking good. It's 3-0 Leafs.
Yeah, the Leafs have the potential to be the first team to move on.
Yep. It'll be tonight. They could be the first in the second round. Tonight.
So I don't have the bracket in front of my face, but if the Leafs were to move on, hypothetically, who would they verse?
Florida or Dallas or Tampa.
So they're going to verse the Panthers.
Well, maybe.
Oh no, it's tied, isn't it 2-2 this year?
No. It's 2-1. So okay, I have on this that the Panthers-Lightning play tonight.
You're right,
already played. They already played. They just finished up the game. Lightning won 5-1.
Yes.
So the series is now 2-1 Panthers. One thing to note, though, is that Game 2 was a shutout. It was a 2-0 shutout for the Panthers. But the Lightning just won 5-1. So even though they got shut out,
Minnesota's going right now.
Oh, they are. 2-1.
Minnesota's up 2-1.
Oh, Minnesota's up 2-1. Uh-oh. That could be a 3-1 series after this. Go to that. Yeah, it says recap. That might be Game 2.
You think? Well, I'm on the 26th.
Okay.
So
that's today.
Uh-oh.
Game 3. So I think they won 5-1. Just skip to the end.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
5-1. Yep. So Florida's up 2-1 in that series. I still think that's going to be a Lightning win.
You think so?
Yep. It might go Game 7 now. Just kind of looking at the last two games, I think the Panthers definitely have it in them to bounce back and make it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know. Would you even call it a bounce back for the Panthers because they're already up in the series? It's a tight one, that's for sure.
It is. If I was a Panthers fan, I wouldn't be too upset losing because I just won the cup.
Sure. But
you want to go, again, back-to-back would be sick. They want to be the Lightning. They want to go back-to-back like the Lightning did.
Yeah.
But you can't...
Would you... Imagine that. You get... Let's say one of them wins.
Sure.
That means that the last 5 Stanley Cups, 4 of them were from Florida. Because the Avalanche won it in the between them.
What happened, Canada?
Dude, Canada hasn't won a cup since the 80s? Is that right? I think it's the 80s.
Who was the last one to win? The Leafs?
No, I think the Canadiens.
Man, that actually kind of blows for Canada.
Yeah. Leafs haven't won it in over like 50 years, I think. It's been a while for the Maple Leafs.
Canadian team.
Last Canadian Stanley Cup, Montreal, yeah.
Yeah.
1993.
93. That's still been 27 years? Is that... No.
No, it's 30.
Dang it. 7 plus 30. Yeah.
03.
Yeah.
13.
You're right.
23. Yeah, it's 32 years. Right. That's wild. Well, look up when the Leafs last won. You know the Montreal Canadiens have the most Stanley Cups in team history.
I didn't know that.
Or in NHL history, I should say. Leafs last won in 66-67. That was the first year the Blues were a team. Actually, no, it was the year after. 67-68 season.
Womp womp. Next series.
Okay, next series we have the Capitals-Canadiens. Have you seen any of this series at all?
Cardinals just won 6-5. That's way too close. We had a 5-0 lead. Anyway.
We won, though. If we sweep, like I said, we're in third place.
Our bullpen's still crapping the bed, though. Anyway.
Who's to say it was the bullpen? What if Sonny Gray did it? He was in the 6.
I think he led up too. Anyway, Capitals-Canadiens. Who did I had Capitals winning.
Yeah, we disagreed on this one. It's 2-1 Caps right now.
You had Canadiens winning?
I do.
Wow.
Ovi had his first postseason overtime goal in Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, the Canadiens won 6-3.
Yeah.
That was a good game for them. Now, here's the kicker. This is really why I think it's going to go to Game 7 now.
Yep.
Both Logan Thompson and Sam Montembeault, the starting goaltenders for each team, left Game 3 with an injury. Both of them. Montembeault had something going on with, I don't know, his upper body maybe. He kind of seemed like, I'm not sure what was going on with him. He went over to the bench during a TV timeout, said something to the trainers, went back, then Caulfield or Suzuki scored, and it was like 3-2. And after that next TV timeout, he went to the bench, said something to their backup, and went to the locker room.
Oh.
And then the backup went in. So, and then Thompson got run into by his own teammate.
I saw that. He looked like
he like cross-checked his neck.
It's insane. I saw.
Yeah, it was bad. So that means that both of the backups, Jakob Dobes for the Canadiens, and then Charlie Lindgren will start Game 4. So we're looking at an interesting series.
It looks better at my point because now you have 2 backup goalies, and if you're up in the series, that's an upper hand. But
sure, but Charlie Lindgren played the last month, I think, pretty much for the the Capitals because Thompson was also injured for the last month, and his save percentage was like .886. He did not do well in the last month for the Capitals. Why do I keep doing that?
We have one more series, right?
We do. Another thing that I wanted to note really quick is that both primary goalies for the Capitals, they catch right-handed. And it's rare enough to see one goaltender catch right-handed at all. Mm-hmm. Even more rare for both of your goalies to be right-handed. Most goalies are left-handed.
That makes sense.
Well, I guess that means that they're right-handed and they catch left.
Yeah. Because you got glove on.
Right. So it's interesting to see that both of them are catching with their right hand. But that also means they both need to get...
Aren't like lefties 10% of the... Or what's the percentage?
Lefties make up more percentage than righties in the league for skaters.
Really?
Yes. But goaltenders are normally right-handed, as in they catch left. Yeah, 10% of the world is left-handed, but a majority of the NHL players are left-handed.
How smart am I? Not to beat my chest.
I think that's a pretty known stat. Comment below if you knew that 10% of the world is left-handed.
They're going to be liars.
Probably. Okay, let's get on to our final series here. This one's going to be quick. Canes-Devils. It looks pretty good for the Canes right now. Series is 2-1 Canes. Last night, the Devils won in overtime, double overtime. But you could very much say that Carolina could have won that game.
100%. That's kind of too close.
Yeah, if they would have, it would have been 3-0. So the Canes just look like the better team.
Not being biased, if you're down 2-0, you want to have a blowout win like the Blues did, and not like a double overtime.
Some people say that it's almost better to have a closer win, because if you have a blowout win as the losing team, you're like, okay, let's let that one go. And it's easier to forget about it. But if it's a closer game, if it's a 3-2 win, then
I think it matters more for the team that's down 2-0 than the team that's up. Like, oh well, it was a bad game for us. I would rather be on the opposite end, down 2-0, and have a big blow win. Like, guys, we have the potential to not only win a game, but like we can dominate this series. Like we can like take control of the ice.
True, but you can't let that get to you. You know, if you're the team that just did that, like the Blues, you can't just be like, okay, we're going to easily dominate on Sunday. You can't let that happen.
I'm smelling what you stepped in.
Yeah.
Out of all our predictions, as of right now, I have 6 out of 8 correct. If for those winning the series, if they were to hypothetically win the series, I would have 6 out of the 8 correct.
Yeah.
I should go to Vegas.
That's not to say that they're always going to win, though. That they're all going to win. You want to go to Vegas and lose some money, you can do it.
I'll take your money.
No, you won't, because we didn't bet any money on this.
That's what you did to me.
All right, well, I got nothing left. I think that's the episode.
Yeah, that's all.
Got any final Jordan Walker comments?
I am disappointed. When he came up, the talk about Walker was like he's the next coming of Mike Trout.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone compared him to Mike Trout.
No, not Mike Trout, but like you gotta admit, when Walker came up, it was like, the organization is saved.
Sure, but everyone said that about every Cardinals hitting prospect since Stephen Piscotty. Randall Grichuk was supposed to be the guy. Harrison Bader was supposed to be the guy. Dylan
I
Carlson
don't
was
think
supposed to be
Bader
the guy.
got as much as Walker.
Probably
Grichuk, I think so, because he was high, very high. He's on Diamondbacks, right?
No, I think he's a free agent now. I don't think he got signed this year.
He's on Diamondbacks.
Is he still there? Oh, that's right. They let Jock Peterson walk.
Who's doing terrible in Texas?
Yeah,
Absolutely terrible.
He has -1 more. Randall Grichuk. Dude, I used to love Grichuk. He was my favorite player growing up. And then it was Colton Wong.
Hitting 242 is not bad.
Doesn't have any home runs though. That's what he does. Do you remember when he would miss a pitch? So like let's say he swung at strike one and missed it. He would hit his left leg. Because he's a righty. He would hit his left leg. Which would be him telling himself to lay off the next pitch. It was something silly like that. That they commented on it on the broadcast one time.
That's all we have today, guys.
If you enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and make sure you come back for episode 4, which will be up on Thursday. And next week, are we going to have a guest?
Should we?
When is Greg going to be on?
Greg works next weekend.
Greg.
So we can't do next, the one following, the one after. We also need some sporty guy on here for the sports episode.
That's right.
Because Greg's not going to want to talk ball or puck.
Because he's stupid?
I got to pee.
All right. Thanks for joining us, fellas. Bye-bye.